the Master of Ceremony. Good afternoon to you all, to the Dean of School of Education, the Principal of Gambia College, the President, and the executive members of the Gambia College Student Teachers Association, the General Student Body, distinguished invited guests, the Honorable Member of Parliament of National Assembly for Fonyi Bintang, Honorable Bakari K. Baji, the Honorable Councillors that accompanied me here, Councillor for Block Ward, Kembuje, and the Councillor for Transport Rep and Business Rep, and the Clerk to Council BAC, invited guests and everyone here present. Good afternoon to you all once again. Firstly, I wish to register my sincere appreciation for the invitation extended to me to grace this year's Student Teachers Association Week with you, and to be given the opportunity to address the gathering as one of the speakers of this year's event on a particular topic that has been designed for me, which is empowering the next generation, the local government's role in supporting teachers. I believe whoever authored that topic had something in mind, and that is undoubtedly to stir interest in teachers as to what sort of support is available to them from their local authorities, such that if such an opportunity or opportunities exist and had not been explored or exploited previously, they can ensure it is explored from henceforth. I will come to the subject later to see whether I have a good news for you or that I have no news for you. But first, let me seize the opportunity to commend you for opting a career in education with the aim of imparting knowledge and mentoring the future generations. I hope and pray that you succeed in becoming much better teachers than the ones that have taught us. Indeed, the profession of teaching is noble, and anyone aspiring to take up that profession ought to be commended. Now let me turn to the topic at hand, which is the role of local governments in supporting teachers. Firstly, it is worth noting that local governments have a significant role to play in the empowerment of the next generation, which includes supporting teachers. This is because the next generation cannot be empowered without the significant role of our teachers in our societies. Thus, the local government cannot eschew themselves from rendering support to teachers. In fact, even the laws governing the local governments, such as the Local Government Act 2002, provided implicit, and I underscore the word implicit, because the law has not been very explicit about the direct support that local governments can give to teachers. But it is implicit in certain provisions of that law, and those are Section 53 and 65, 63 and 65 of the Local Government Act 2002. And these obligations are further subject to ministerial approval. So this is where the Local Government Act is saying councils can take over schools and provide salaries and pensions to teachers where the Minister for Education delegates that function to council. And it says councils can also help schools in a lot of ways, but provided we have the delegation from the ministry, because schools are mainly reserved to central government, and teachers and everything else is also reserved to central government. But central government, where they have challenges in managing certain schools, can indeed delegate those functions to local government. But it cannot be just passing the burden on us per se. They have to also provide the necessary funding for us to be able to manage those schools effectively. And this is where central governments don't like to send us or to delegate those functions to us, because they don't want to give us the money. So they rather keep the money, even if they're failing in the functions and we can do much better, but they will still prefer they keep the money rather than giving us the money for us to do a better job in managing the schools. So that caveat is what is impeding that function. But that is not the only caveat that can stop local governments from supporting, or local authorities from supporting teachers. Councils can offer support to teachers in other ways under the Local Government Act, which does not require ministerial approval or delegation. This is because under Section 1282 of the Local Government Act, it says local governments, whatever revenue we collect in a year, we have to apply it. We must apply it. The language is very commanding. It says shall. So we have to apply it in three phases, or on three components. One is the administration of council itself. Second is development, and third is welfare. So welfare component of this application of revenue, it's where councils can be able to capture the support needed by teachers. Welfare is very broad, and it does not exclude teachers or support to teachers, as the welfare of teachers is very significant in the welfare of our communities. I'll give you an example. In the olden days, communities will build quarters for teachers simply because of the value they attach to teachers in their communities, because everyone wants their children to be educated. You go to certain communities, they will make sure they provide teachers with accommodation, and they provide them with feeding as well. I don't know how true this is now, because society seems to have, we would say we've modernized a lot, that we don't care about each other that much. So, but this used to happen, and this underscores the importance attached to teachers in our communities. And as a result, since councils represent communities and welfare of teachers is given such a significance, it means that supporting teachers from the councils or within councils' welfare support ought to be very important. So councils can use the application of welfare funds to support teachers. And we, unfortunately, BAC, under the previous, that is Brikama Area Council, under the previous administration or under the previous leadership, did not or were not catering much of their revenue for welfare. Even now, we are not doing enough at that, because the development needs tends to exceed everything else, because we have a lot of demand for development. You go to the most urban areas of our region, there is a high demand for collection of waste at household level. And that means we have to procure compactors that are able to collect waste. You have drainage. Flooding is a big problem even at Brikama Market. So there's a high demand for us to have the infrastructure that can effectively manage flooding within our markets during the rainy season. And those tend to take a huge chunk of our revenue or our budget. So by the time we do all the calculations, we have very limited amount left to be spent on welfare. And this is the limited chunk that we also have to now further segregate or further uh, share between the competing demands. And that include health. So at the moment, in the council, in our welfare funding, we are able to allocate for two components of welfare need. And these are health support and education support. In many nations or most developed nations, welfare tend to go beyond this. So you would have housing as a welfare support. You would have income or basic sustenance as a welfare support. So people will go to council and council will give them what we call, in the UK, they call it dole. So you go and then every week you sign on, they give you maybe $50 or $100 to meet your basic sustenance if you're not working. In here, because the councils receive so much less, if we want to go into that, we will end up bankrupting or we will end up in insolvency process because of the amount of debt we will be incurring. So at the moment, our welfare is limited to two components, that is health and education. Education, this year, 6% of our budget has been dedicated to welfare support, and that represents $23 million. $8 million of that is supposed to be for education. And that education is not only scholarships, it's supposed to take care to be for scholarships as well as other support to schools. And this support can be in terms of maintenance of classrooms, libraries, all lot of challenges schools are facing. We try to intervene to help them with those. We also receive a lot of requests from schools with regards to funding for school excursions for their students. And then many other requests that we will get. Teachers, you would have what they will call, what is the word for it again? They do have cluster meetings or cluster training programs. And these are things that they would usually tend to send in a lot of requests for. And we try to intervene in those as much as we can. But not only that, part of the education scholarship fund, we tend to help. And this year, we're glad to say we are supporting a lot of teachers who are furthering their education at the university level, at college level, and many other tertiary institutions. That is through our education scholarship funds. Unfortunately, because of the high demand on education scholarship, it had also consumed the whole of the 8 million budgeted for education. It means we have no other funds to support or to intervene in anything else in education. But that tells you the limited resources councils are striving with at the moment because we are not having government subvention. So one of the things I want to say, and this is very, very important to my speech today. This is the most important part. See, one thing I have learned in the job is that teachers have a lot of challenges, but teachers hardly request any support for themselves. Whenever you receive a request from a teacher, it's always about his student or his school. That's what they always request for. But you hardly hear or hardly receive a letter from a teacher saying, we need maintenance or repairing or construction of our teachers' quarters, even though those are not existing. But they will always ask for support to maintain the classroom for their students, or they will ask for support for their students to go on an excursion, not for the teacher to go on a tour. So that tells you how noble teachers are in this society. So for me, if every Gambian profession behaves like teachers and we care so selflessly about ourselves and care about the other people that we care for, and we all care for everyone else as the teachers do, we would have a much progressive and much developed nation in this country. So the challenge I have for teachers now is this. Teachers are some of the best role models we still have in this country. But one thing is not transcendent, is that the students that the teachers are teaching are the ones that are becoming ministers, directors, chief executives, presidents, doctors, and a whole lot of other professions, lawyers and other people. But you know what is the problem? These people have a complete different traits to that of their teachers. When they go into those professions or when they get to those status, all they care about is themselves. Whereas when the teacher was teaching them, the teacher never cares about the teacher, but he cares about them. So how come we got this disconnection or this disconnect? So when they become in charge of the whole nation, including the teachers, they never think about the teachers, but they only think about themselves. This is where I now want to challenge you, the future aspiring teachers, that the only way councils, governments, and anything can also be able to get support to teachers. Teachers have to now teach students not about achieving success in life, because that is what we are teaching them at the moment. We want you to become a doctor so you can succeed. We want you to become a lawyer so you can succeed. You can drive a fancy car, live in a very big mansion or beautiful mansion, and then be able to travel anywhere in the world. Rather, what we need our people to be taught in our schools, it's about honesty, probity, and the determination and steadfastness to tell the truth. Because we lie a lot nowadays. And that is very, very bad. You see, if you look at a white man or a white person disciplining their children, they tend to never compromise with two traits. They don't want their children to steal, and they don't want their children to lie. If you develop or you mold the society that maintains and upholds those values, never to lie and never to steal, that society will prosper. Because everybody tells the truth and nobody steals. The amount of money we get in this country, if nobody steals it, we will all be rich. And if the stealers or the thieves are not also good at lying, we will catch the thieves. So, as teachers, you are responsible for mentoring the future. The challenge is now to you to make sure that you inculcate this. I don't know how you do it in the syllabus, but you have to teach this, the children. We teach them young not to steal and not to lie. If we can nurture that into them, no matter where they are, if they become directors, permanent secretaries, ministers, presidents, those two things will stick in their heads. They will never think about success in life just for themselves, but they will always think that, A, I should not steal what is not mine. And if I steal, It will be hard because I have to tell the truth. If we can get everyone in this country to be upright in those values, I bet and I can swear to the Holy Quran, we will have a much prosperous and a very developed nation. But we are not getting that at present because we have successful people. We've seen their houses, we've seen the cars they drive. But what we are not willing to talk about is how much they are also stealing from us. And now, even when we ask people to look after or to probe into the theft of somebody, those who we entrusted to probe into that will also steal from whatever they gather from that. It has gotten to that level. So the word or the challenge I want to leave every one of you with is that changing Gambia cannot happen without the important role played by teachers. You guys play a very important role in that. And you have to now teach the children about honesty and truthfulness. They have to understand this. We have to catch them young, nurture them with that, so that one day when they become president, even doctors are stealing now. Doctors, they're stealing now. In fact, some of the big thieves in town are doctors, in fact. So the only people, I mean, teachers, if I think maybe teachers, the only thing you can steal is chairs and chalks and other things, and blackboards or something. Maybe that's one of the reasons why teachers are still upholding the high moral ground. But we want you to transcend that. We want you to impart it to everyone that comes through your classrooms from now on so that we can have a better future, a better Gambia, and we can empower the next generation. I thank you all. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Honorable. Thank you. 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 All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
If not for God and I will today I will attend the Friday sermon. Honestly, he has preached us today. He has told us a lot of things that we had at our own mosque. So thank you so very much for coming and also for that wonderful declaration. Teachers are the kings of every society. When we talk about teachers, we don't mean those that are always at school.
Doctor. Oh, the dean. Head of, okay, thank you.
So recognizing their efforts in what they are doing in national development. I am so happy once again coming back and appreciate my brothers and sisters to once again talk to them. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for coming and for honoring the invitation. Before I say something, I want to once again thank the provost, Mr. Abubakar Jallo, once again. Dr. Abubakar Jallo, put your hands together for him. As you've seen from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and today we are on Friday, he has relentlessly did everything possible to be with us, and he's always with us to support, advice, even financially. Thank you once again. We appreciate you, and may God guide and protect you all the time for us. And once again, to our head of school, Mr. Mamadou Jallo, please put your hands together for him, please. Every day you come here from Monday to Friday, today you will see him seated there with us, guiding us, his children, the right path all the time. We don't have money to give you. We know thank you is not enough, but we will still say thank you.
Thank you, sir. Inside our hearts and minds, only God knows how much we want you to be proud of us out there in the field. So all we need is your guidance and your prayers and your support, and we've been receiving that all the time. And now back to the chairman. The reason why I have to be here to talk is because, Mr. Chairman, I want you to know that the youths are happy with you. Please put your hands together. Thank you. The youths are happy. They are happy for the fact that I think the speech you made here even confirms that. That as an individual, if you want to instill change, not only change, but positive change, sustainable change, all you need to preach in the young is not to lie and not to steal. If that happens, I think we will all have the Gambia we want and the Gambia we deserve. Please put your hands together once again. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We want you to know that your developmental projects are really inspiring. The youths are looking up to you. We have seen the rapid change, and I think I've been entrusted with a message as well, which I want to deliver today, and that is the School of Education, that is the Student Teacher Association, want to entirely trust itself to you from today. Please put your hands together for that. We have activities, we have projects, we have initiatives, but anytime we want to make reference, we reference you. For one reason, the love you have for the youth, the love you have for this country, and the love you have for this region, which is West Coast region. And we know in that the Gambia College is within the geographical location of the West Coast region, and we entirely know that we cannot progress without coming closely to you, collaborating with you, working with you. So we decided to surrender ourselves to you so that we can work closely to develop the college, especially School of Education, in initiatives and programs and activities from today. Kindly accept us. And in our African traditional society, we cannot do this in the absence of the colony. So I want to call my own head of school to come here, and the chairman, please put your hands together. Please, we want you to accept this from today. Know that you have children here, and who are those children? That is the Student Teacher Association. Please, put your hands together for the chairman. We want you to know that we love you, we appreciate you, and we want you to kindly accept this from us. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Please, he's somebody that we love, and we want this to be a moment we will all cherish and remember in our lives. Because if we have such an individual leaving everything he has to do within a day to come here and be with us, advise us, we are teachers in making. And I believe this message is apt. It is going to go a long way in developing this beautiful country that is the Gambia. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much. Thank you once again. It's a great pleasure. So perhaps you might want to say a few words if possible. I think it's always a pleasure hearing from you. It's like missing you is like missing the oxygen that is keeping us living every day. Please.
Thank you very much. I am truly humbled by this. And then it's a honor. And I am glad to say that I happily accept it. And we will certainly work together to ensure that we have a more prosperous and more progressive Gambia. I thank you all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you. While he's taking his seat, please, I want you to put your hands together for this historious moment. I won't do justice without thanking his delegates, most profoundly the educational team he came here with. And also before I go, Mr. Chairman, we understand and we are fully aware that you were able to sponsor 75 students of the Gambia College. Put your hands together for that, please. 75 students of the Gambia College. We are all sponsored by the Honorable Chairman under his leadership. We are touched. And we are definitely happy that the Brikama Area Council is having the college at heart. And also, if there is anything that we appeal for, is perhaps maybe the number could be increased to at least, if not double, but at least something could be added to it. Thank you. Thank you for accepting to this. Mr. MC, please, the podium is yours once again. God bless you all. And special thanks to the entire students. Once again, from Monday to Friday, you've been here with us. Like I say, I have to repeat this once again. We are proud of you. We are happy that you are working with us. And we are happy that you are accepting our mistakes, our flaws, and we are correcting them together. Just to know that leadership is not all about being a saint. You might commit mistakes along the line, but the best is when you commit mistakes, you accept to improve. And we will continue to do that so that we can grow together. Thank you once again.
Thank you so very much.